platform, get ready to enter. But first, let's get the mindset centered. Hey, let's go. We're not here to gamble, we're here to trade. We follow the plan, that's how we get paid. Testing, trading, have success. Find what works for you and forget the rest. Stats and probabilities is what we're about. Time to dismiss greed and doubt. Focus on the process, not the money. And the profits will flow like honey. Power Hour Live, let's start the show. Come on, trade hackers, get ready to go. 0-day options, time to make bank. Get locked and loaded, then be ready to plank. Hey!
Hey everyone, welcome to Power Hour Live, Thursday, November 13th. S&P is down 117 points. NASDAQ is down 550 points, about 2%. Russell, the weakest, down a full 3%, down 73 points. And the Dow is down 790, down about 1.6. Gold down 1%, silver down 2%. Notes and bonds are red. 10-year yield up about 1%. Oil is up about a third. Natural gas is up 1.2. Soybeans finished green. Wheat red. Corn green. Euro and the pound are both up a little less than 0.5%, and Bitcoin is down 3.3, back to 98,000. VIX up a cool 20%, right at 21 as we speak. Just an all-out, all-assets sale today. My day trading, not a good day for the day trading today. I accidentally, it really was an accident, accidentally sized too big on my SPX trade, so took a bigger loss on that one than I should have. Let me pull it over here. My SPX vertical was about a $1,900 loss. Should have been under 1,000. I just missized it based on how I entered and where my exit point was. Had a short trade, puts in SPY early. I was too early and got squeezed out of that before the down move happened. And then Meta was a reversal that I had to cut. So 3 losses. That 6E closed overnight. It was a $200 loss. I still have my Apple swing trade on, and it's just been kind of chopping, barely red. It was strong early, sold off, but not like some of the others, so it's just holding that for now. BIX got kind of obliterated as well. BIX have been wild this week. Minus 5K one day, plus 5K the next day. I'm down, well, Pat says minus 5,100. I'm actually down about 4,200. I've had a few double stops in here and the rest all one-sided. So VIX are going to be red. I didn't do any Elmos. I did do a 1 DTE, which is down about 1,200-ish. So if we could get a decent little bounce into the end of the day, which I don't necessarily anticipate, but if we do, I would kind of lessen that one. I don't expect that to go green. So kind of a bloody day for me. I did not play for the massive sell-off. To put it into a little bit of context, looking at the daily chart, we had that big sell-off in SPX on October 10th. And this one's not that big, but it's kind of the biggest sell-off we've seen besides the April tariff stuff. It's really the biggest sell-off we've seen in one day, except for that October 10th. So keep that in mind. I mean, I don't mind how I traded today. Yeah, I would have liked to have hit on that short that I took on SPY, and I shouldn't have sized too big on SPX. But otherwise, limited 3 trades, limited the losses. I think if I didn't have my current rules in place, it could have been a little bloodier because I would have probably continued to try to take more trades, and that has kind of limited. So from that perspective, it's good. Really what it comes down to is just that one oversized SPX trade is the one I'm kind of not real happy about. But otherwise, don't mind the way that I traded, even though it is a red day. Let's see what else. I think that's it for me. Yeah, I didn't no Wugas, no Elmos, nothing on right now. So just kind of watching this thing bleed. As I mentioned in the day trading chat, it sucks missing out on such a big down move. Not catching any of that, but at the same time, what we know always comes after a big flush is the old short squeeze. So. Not today, it doesn't look like. Maybe not even tomorrow, but it's coming. It will be coming. Yeah, I had some call sides stopped on those early tranches on that because we had that down move and then we had that pretty decent move all the way back up to highs of day. So I got hit on some call sides up there. So that's what kind of got me on the BIX. S&P, NASDAQ, Russell, all trading at lows. Bitcoin also at lows. Bitcoin's down about 3.5%. As far as other movers, big movers in individual stocks. Some quantum names. SoFi is down 12% after hitting an all-time high yesterday. Robinhood is down 9%. Yikes. CoreWeave is down 9%. Coinbase down 8%, MSTR down 7%, Tesla down 7%. Nothing like a $1 trillion company dropping 7% in one day. Nvidia's down 4%. Maybe the market just didn't like the fact that it didn't get its CPI numbers this morning. I do have a handful of green on my screen. Cisco had earnings. It's up 4% still, but well off of its highs. Berkshire is up 2%. Did you guys read Warren's final farewell letter? I read it a couple days ago. You can search for that on the interwebs. Costco's up 1%, Verizon's up 1%, Baba's up 1%, Kroger's up 1%. Everything else is red. I saw Eli Lilly join the Trilly Club. LLY. Did not realize that was that big. Now it's trading for over $1,000 a share. I mean, if you're not worth $1 trillion these days, really, who are you? Oh, boy. Trillion here, trillion there. Yeah, so today we were supposed to have CPI. Tomorrow we were supposed to have PPI, but they are going into the black hole, never to be revealed due to the government shutdown. Tomorrow is Friday the 14th. A couple Fed speakers, but that is it on the board for tomorrow. We refresh just to make sure they didn't add anything. Yep. Yeah, just a few Fed speakers. Low impact, nothing exciting. But there's nothing exciting today either scheduled. Pretty orderly down move as well. Not really a whole lot of flushing going on. Some pretty orderly selling. very little bounce. It's still just getting pushed back down. I mentioned Apple. I've got still got my swing trade long in Apple. So yesterday when I put it on, I had planned to take some off as it approached the previous day high, and it didn't quite get there. Today, I plan to take some off right as it hit a new all-time high, and it was racing up this morning like it was going for sure. Never quite got there before the turnaround, but it didn't really go back through lows much. I mean, it's just been kind of chopping near that initial where it opened. Barely in red territory. It's only down 0.2%, so just continuing to hold my swing trade in Apple. Gold and silver taking a little pause after the run-up it's had the last few days. Don't forget, for pro members, the OPEX calendar course, 30 minutes after the bell today. Zoom link is in the calendar chat, or you should have received an email, or both. This is a course that has some moving parts to it, so I would highly, highly encourage you to attend live if at all possible. Of course, it'll be recorded. It'll be added to the calendar courses in WAP. But if you can attend live, definitely make it. Bitcoin trying to get a little bounce off the bottom. Let's see, do we have any earnings today? Earnings. At Disney this morning. Nothing really tradable. Nothing really that I would trade anyway. Andrew K. So what I would do is just when you have a plan of entry where you decide, okay, I'm gonna put this on if I break a new daily low. You really just need to have, before you enter the trade, just have an exit point. So if it goes above X, so you got in right here. 1 p.m. Eastern, yeah, so right around in here, noon Central. So you could say something like, if it goes back above that previous swing high, you would just exit. So that would be your risk between where you entered, and if it pushed back above that, then you could exit. So that would be one way to kind of manage risk. I've also got another level on here that you can't see on a 5-minute chart, but it's basically, I think that was, let me double check. I think it was Tuesday's low. Monday's low. So here's SPY on a 15-minute chart. So I had that marked. So you could use that as a level to manage risk around. So it's really about just having having a plan, having a level to manage risk around. So if it goes against you, you know exactly where you're getting out. Yeah, I mean, what I would do is on a vertical, just only position size for full loss. I wouldn't use a stop loss, not a hard stop necessarily in your broker. Just do it like 10 or 15 wide, the wings, and then you can just trade it based on the size of the buying power, position size that way, and then you can use a specific level on your chart as far as when you would get out, as opposed to like a percent stop. I mean, you could do it that way too, but I'm telling you how I like how I did it today with my short put vertical. I got in looking for a reversal because we flushed that Monday's low, bounced, started to sell off again, but that sell off kind of failed, and we really kind of bounced pretty aggressively. So that's where I got long, and I used the low of day as my level. Now it came down and hit that, so I just closed it out. So it was a losing trade, but that's how I did mine. I was going long at that point. All right, getting a tiny little bounce here going on in the indices and Bitcoin. A Bosch needs a bounce to 70. That's only 33 points higher. I mean, why not, a Bosch? A Bosch, you always need like some massive move at the end of the day. I hope you have really nice winning days too, because like most people like to talk about their winning trades and post their wins. And a Bosch, you always post your losses. So I hope you have wins that counteract some of the losses that you talk about. I really hope that's true. Expected move for the remainder of the day is about, well, the market maker move says 9.5. The option chain says 14, 15. So somewhere in between there, 10 to 12 points is kind of the expected move. So a 30-point move would be a little aggressive, twice the expected move, but never know. Andrew K., yeah, if you're going to use 50 or 100 wide wings, then you would definitely want to probably put a stop loss in there. Do you use Trade Steward? Okay. I was going to just share my bots with you, but I've been using a bot to trade them, and so I just have them set up with 15 wide wings. That way I don't have to use a stop because the buying power is so much less. Just because I with all the spiky issues that we were having with stop losses, I just preferred to do tighter wings and not use a stop. Yeah, because as recently as at least a month, maybe 2 months ago, I was using like an 80 wide wing on my vertical and with a stop loss, but I moved it to a 15 wide with no stop. I just like it better. SPX back up to 67.42. hope we go to 70 for you, Abash. Yeah, so here, Andrew K. So if you do a short put vertical, for example, or you're doing a short call. So if you do like an at the money sell the 45 and buy 15 wide. If you did that right now, it would look like this. All right, so you're in positive theta territory. In this case, I mean, this late in the day, that's a 40 delta. So you're going to be a little bit out of the money in that case. Max profit 405, max loss 1095. The other thing I'll do, like on the put side, like if I or on the call side, if I'm bullish, is sometimes I'll buy a call vertical out of the money. So if I did like the 45 and the 60, but I bought it, this is a bullish, not bearish play, then what that looks like is this, where now you have a max risk of 395 and a max profit of 1105. It's out of the money, so it's got to make a decent move to get there, but just a couple different ways to think about it. So if you sell out of the money, your max loss is going to be higher than your max profit. If you buy out of the money, your max loss will be less than your max profit. But there's a trade-off, right? It's got to move. If you sell, even if it just expires right there, you can still make money. Whereas, if this one just sits here, you'll lose money if it doesn't move your way. Does that make sense? Yeah, I was just giving you a bullish and a bearish example, and an example of selling out of the money and buying out of the money. You can do whatever you want, Bosh. I was just hoping that you have winners, because you're always you're always pumping your losers to us. Okay, getting a little late day bounce. This is the biggest bounce we've had all day, kids. Let's give a Bosch a 70 print. 70 pin, baby. It's only 24 points away, Bosch. So I was showing you that, Andrew K, because that's how I, like, on my put verticals that I have my bot set up for. I have both. I have a short put vertical that's out of the money by a strike. If I think that prices may just kind of chop around and not necessarily make a big move, or if I'm, trying to play for, a reversal, which I think might be the beginning of a squeeze, I might do an out of the money long call vertical. That way my risk is less and my max profit's more, but I'm I'm more anticipating that a potential big move. So it's just two different ways to look at it. There's no right or wrong answer. You're just, as with any kind of trading, you're making an assumption and you're putting some risk that you're willing to take against that assumption. We've got 18 minutes until the bell. Meta trying to get back above yesterday's lows. Even Tezzy getting a couple bounces in. Tesla's been weak all day, then had a little bounce, pull back. Now it's bouncing again. Double bounce. Hood starting to pop up a little bit. Let's see if this is going to be like every other bounce. Get shoved back down to lows. Got about 5 minutes till MOC. Be back in 1 minute. assume the flies are going to be cheap right now. SPX at 67.42. Yeah, they're going to be super cheap. 45 fly is trading for 80 cents maybe. Too much vol pumping in and too much movement for these butterflies to be much more than they are. VIX back below 21. It's good to see VIX bouncing around in the high teens and low 20s, though, you know? Makes things exciting. Beats VIX 12, I'll tell you that. Bitcoin kind of dipping again. MOC, let me turn on my volume.
One minute until market on close imbalance.
$40 fly, still just over $1 maybe. Or right around $1.
Ten seconds.
S&P dipping a little bit into the MOC. Going for another
Market on
flush.
close imbalance. S&P 500 buy side 1.1 billion. Nasdaq 100 buy side 723 million. Dow 30 buy side 465 million. Mag 7 buy side 311 million.
1.1 billion buy side.
Reminder, at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, we have the South Korean export price year on year, prior 2.2%. South Korean import price year on year, prior 0.
Voice news
Okay, that's
disconnected.
enough out of you, voice guy. So a little dip. Looks like it's trying to get bought up. SPX back up to 40. Meta trying to go green on the day. So is Apple. Netflix just under unchanged as well. $80 to $25. Woo. Nice. Did you get that in before MOC number? Get filled before MOC? I mean, but was it filled before the MOC number came out? At 80 cents? Fill on the call. Oh, filled right as it came out. Got it.
Connection lost.
Connection lost.
S&P down to
Market data
35.
connection re-established.
Everything back to dipping again. S&P looks like it wants new lows. Bitcoin looks like it wants new lows. Amazon wants new lows. Google looking for new lows. SPX at 30. Oh, my one DTE just closed. All right, a little over 4 minutes. SPX did not quite get to lows. Let's see if it's going to make another run. Less than 4 minutes. Let's see, the 35 fly. Looks like it's going for close to $2, maybe a little over. I'm going to pass on the old Mahomes today. Three minutes. SPX at 35. Looks like my BICs are going to end. I'll have to check after the close here. All right, 2 minutes to go. SPX at 35. Bosch, did you close your butterfly yet? Or ride or die? Small profit. Good. Better than a loss. VIX down to 20.68. Ticked above 21 again. Yeah, today would definitely have been a good day to be scalping. I mean, it's popping between strikes. "40 seconds to go to save the bulls." The bulls just want that bell rung. SPX still around 36. 10 seconds. Creeping up. $38.
Order cancelled.
And
Order
there
cancelled.
she goes. 67.37.57. Looks like the final. All right, all. Well, we got our vol back. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Everybody have a good night. If you can attend the OPEX calendar starting in 30 minutes. Talk to you guys soon. Cheers.